Hello ladies and gentle trolls, welcome back to my newest custom expansion for Hearthstone, Return to the Rumble. Last week I showed you guys the main mechanics of the expansion, but this time we're gonna dive into the cards and archetypes for each class, starting with this legendary for Death Knight, Dread King Mugla. Mugla is a 4-mana 5/5 undead beast with 1 unholy rune, and he also has Reborn. That's a lot of stats for 4 mana, but that's because Mugla will cast bananas on all enemy minions when played, giving them +1/+1. But then when Mugla dies, he will also cast bananas on your minions, and since he has Reborn, the death rattle is almost certainly gonna trigger more than once. In general, there are a lot of cards that revolve around Reborn for Death Knight in Return to the Rumble. If you saw last week's episode, you also saw the new keyword introduced in the expansion, Ritual. Ritual is a legendary exclusive keyword, and cards with Ritual will split into a varying amount of offering spells when the game starts and shuffle them into your deck. Then once you played all the offerings, your Ritual card will be added to your hand. Each class gets a legendary with Ritual, like Muasala, Lore of Death for Death Knight.
No one be defying Muasala!
Muasala is a 6-mana 9/8 undead, and he will summon Muasala's Monstrosity when played. Muasala's Monstrosity has Rush and 7 instances of Reborn, which means it will be reborn 7 times, each time losing one of its Reborn keywords. If you use another card to give the Monstrosity Reborn, it will do nothing unless the Monstrosity has lost all 7 instances of Reborn. The Monstrosity starts out as a 1/1, but you can increase these numbers because Muasala also has Ritual +2, which means he will split into these 2 offering spells when the game starts. The first offering, Surrender the Body, will destroy a friendly minion, and Muasala will then claim its soul. This means that Muasala's Monstrosity will have additional base stats equal to the minions. The other offering, Surrender the Spirit, will spend up to 5 corpses, and once again Muasala will claim their souls, increasing the Monstrosity's base stats by +1/+1 for each corpse spent. Death Knight also gets the minion Nasmani Ritualist, which is a 6-mana 3/4 minion that lets you discover a friendly minion that died this game and will then resurrect all your copies of that minion. This works really well alongside your minions with Reborn, especially if you discover Muasala's Monstrosity. Keep in mind that while this card says discover, you won't actually get the card in hand as the effect is spent to resurrect the minion. Moving on, we got the cards for Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter was supposed to get Hakar the Soul Flayer as the big Ritual legendary, but we accidentally sent out the invitation to the wrong Hakar.
Come my pets, you will have plenty to feed on soon enough.
I already showed this card in the last video, so I'll try to keep it brief. Hakar the Misidentified is a 5-mana 7/7 demon with Ritual +2 and a Rest of Game effect. Rest of Game is a new evergreen keyword, and it's basically a battle cry that lasts for the rest of the game. Hakar's Rest of Game effect will summon a demon with stats equal to your hero's attack after every time you attack, and his 2 offering spells support this effect too. There were some comments in the last video about this card, so the numbers will probably change in a patch notes video. The Demon Hunter team was really excited to see the other Hakar, so they've become quite disappointed. Disappointed minions are a new mechanic for Demon Hunter this expansion. They each have an effect, but after you overkill a minion while they're in your hand or the battlefield, they will get upgraded with a stronger effect, becoming Impressed instead. To support these disappointed cards, Demon Hunter also gets Cheer Captain Chua.
Ha! It be time for some fun!
Chua is a 7-mana 7/6 legendary minion with Rush, and when you play her she will add all 4 disappointed cards to your hand. She also has Overkill. That's right, Overkill returns in this expansion. When Chua overkills a minion, she will impress all your disappointed cards, even the ones in your deck. One reason the Demon Hunter team became so disappointed might be because we put up all this false advertisement. This 3-mana spell will let you discover a card from your deck, but will then draw the other 2 options you didn't pick instead. Next up we got the cards for Druid, starting with the Ritual legendary Paku the Pterradax.
The winds are mine to command!
Paku is a 6-mana 8/8 beast with Ritual +2 and a Rest of Game effect that will cause your hero to have +2 attack permanently, even during the opponent's turn. Paku's 2 offerings are the same choose one effect, but the second time you play the offering it will always cast the other choice. Druid gets a lot of cards in the expansion that support this attack archetype. Druid's other legendary also supports this direction, Hexlord Ral.
Choose your lore wisely.
Ral is a 6-mana 5/5 and when you play him he will summon 1/1/1 Terra decks, but every time you deal damage with your hero while Ral is in your hand, a random one of these numbers will increase by 1, so you never quite know what you're getting with Ral. The rest of the cards for Druids center around the taunt keyword. Coming up are the cards for Hunter, such as the ritual legendary Hethys the Snake. Hethys is a 5-mana 1/15 beast with stealth, and he is poisonous to all characters, that includes the enemy hero. But Hethys also has ritual +3, so you must first play his 3 offering spells before he is added to your hand. In general, poisonous is a big theme for Hunter in Return to the Rumble, and a lot of their cards revolve around the neutral card Arena Snake. This is a 2-mana 2/3 beast with poisonous. Hunter gets a lot of cards in the expansion that summon Arena Snakes. The payoff to this Arena Snake archetype is High Priest Venoxis.
Succumb to the venom!
Venoxis is a 9-mana 6/6 legendary with charge, and when you play him he will resurrect all your Arena Snakes that died this game to attack a random enemy and then die again. The damage will get calculated instantly in a cool little display, so you have time to attack with Venoxis right after. Hunter also gets a lot of cards that revolve around drawing cards, like all these cards. This includes this very cool tradable spell, Green Hills of Stranglethorn. This 5-mana spell will draw 4 cards when cast, but if you trade it instead it will lose a page. This means it will transform into a 4-mana spell that draws 3 cards, but it will also shuffle a Green Hills page into your deck, which casts when drawn and will draw you another card. You can trade this card 4 times, each time reducing the effect and shuffling a page into your deck, and when you trade the last version it will shuffle a page into your deck and then get destroyed. Next up are the cards for Mage, such as the ritual legendary Runok the Arctic Bear. Runok is a 5-mana 9/9 beast and he will summon the Arctic Storm when played. This is a permanent fixture on the board, like the portal from Sargeras, that will deal 5 damage to 1 random enemy at the start of your turn. But this effect will improve each time, which means that at the start of your next turn it will deal 5 damage to 2 random enemies, and then 3 enemies, and so on. But Runok also has ritual +3, so you must first cast his 3 offerings before he is added to your hand. Most of the other Mage cards in the expansion revolve around the freeze mechanic, like all these cards. The payoff to this freeze mechanic is Frost King Malak.
Winter is coming.
Malak is a 5-mana 5/5 legendary, and when you play him you will summon copies of all the frozen minions you've killed this game. And no, the copies won't be frozen. Mage also gets this spell, Shimmerweed Surge, which could help you find your freezing spells. Now for the cards for Paladin, starting with the ritual legendary Rezan Fallen King. Rezan is a 5-mana 8/6 undead beast with ritual +2, divine shield, rush, and overkill. Cast the highest cost spell from your deck, targeting Rezan if possible. But to play him you must first cast his 2 offering spells. Paladin gets a lot of cards in the expansion to support Rezan. Paladin also gets cards from a Silverhand archetype, with cards like Colonel Curson.
This is our chance to strike.
Curson is a 7-mana 6/5 legendary that will resurrect all your Silverhand recruits that died this game when played. And any recruits that won't fit on the battlefield will give one of the ones that did +2/+2, Divine Shield or Rush at random. Paladin also gets some cards that generate Silverhand recruits, like Jungle Remedy and Kirsten Medicine Man. Then there's also this spell for Paladin, Blessing of Supremacy, which supports both of these archetypes. Okay, we're now about halfway through the cards of the expansion, so I think I'll call it here for this video, or it's gonna get too long. But you can check out all 145 cards of the expansion now! If you go to the description, you'll see a link that takes you to an overview of the entire expansion. Thanks for watching, guys. Next week I'll be showing you the cards for the remaining classes, so subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that. And don't forget to give the video a like if you enjoyed it, it really helps. See you next time!